Hi, welcome to the Golden Lady. Happy to have you here. In previous videos, I talked about my prep and planning for upcoming trips on Greyhound bus. I had a trip planned for October and one in December. The trip in October was for my brother's house for his birthday. And unfortunately, my brother's son, my nephew, passed away. And so I had to change those plans from October and go to my brother's home last week on an emergency basis to attend my nephew's funeral. So that changed my planning quite a bit. I had to plan it in 2 days. I still did take the Greyhound bus. It was a 20-hour bus trip, which it was always going to be, so that part of it didn't change, but I just had a little less time to plan for it. But because of the circumstances, I did not film any of the packing for the trip. I didn't film any of the bus ride. And of course, I didn't film any of my stay there. And so now I've returned home and I am about to unpack my things. So I thought I'd go ahead and share with you my experience on Greyhound bus and show you what I did pack for the trip and tell you a little bit about the experience of the Greyhound bus. So as I said, I only had a couple days to plan it. So it was a little rushed and not as well thought out as it would have been had I had the time to plan it a little better. But it is what it is. So basically, I purchased this backpack. I showed you in a previous video that I purchased this for the upcoming trip in October. I didn't use this at all because when I began to pack for the trip, I realized this would not suit my needs. It is quite roomy and it's a nice backpack, but I'm a person that carries a lot of things with me and I need individual pockets for different things, and this is more suited for someone that needs to pack clothing. Just the way it's made, it's just didn't have enough pockets for me. So this backpack I did not use at all and probably will not use it for my upcoming December trip, which by the way will probably not be on Greyhound because that was unpleasant. The trip on Greyhound was very unpleasant. So this I probably will not use at all. I instead used a different backpack that I've always had all along. And I'm going to show you what's in that backpack in a future video because this video might be a little too long if I show you what's in that backpack. But this is the purse that I carry on a daily basis. It's my Portland Leather Goods backpack. This is what I carried in the summertime. It's empty now because basically what I carry in my purse was just dumped into my travel backpack. So you'll see Basically what used to be in here was completely dumped into my travel backpack. So this is empty now. This is the summer one, and I'll show you my fall winter purse in an upcoming video as well. But what I did carry on the Greyhound bus with me, I did wear a fanny pack. This is my Lululemon fanny pack that I carried around my waist and had a shirt over it. Now I will say that unfortunately on the ride there, it's a 20-hour bus ride, I had this against my skin and I couldn't feel it at the time, but apparently wearing this along my skin for 20 hours, I wound up getting a rash on my skin. So on the trip back, I did wear a tank top and then the fanny pack so that the belt would not rub against my skin again. But this had just things that I wanted to hide and keep close to me. I also wore far too many clothes for a Greyhound bus in the summertime. I wore a pair of cargo jeans that had pockets on the legs, and they were button pockets, and that's where I kept my ID and my credit card and debit card. Now the debit card I kept just as a backup. I did not want to use my debit card at all because of course that's tied to my checking account. I'm traveling out of state. I'm not familiar with the places I would use the debit card, so I did not use it at all. It was just there as a backup. I used my credit card instead. My credit card, I did call my credit card holder ahead of time to let them know I would be traveling so that none of my transactions would be declined. But I used just my credit card or cash. My cash I kept in my cargo pockets, which is close to me. It was buttoned up, and I kept my cash in 2 different places. So I kept small amounts here to take out for small purchases like chips, soda at the gas station, so that I wouldn't have to pull out any large amounts. It was just $20, $30 in small bills in one pocket, and then the other pocket would have any larger amounts of cash that I had with me for travel purposes. And then I also kept my ID and things like that in my cargo pockets buttoned up. And here was mostly things I wanted to access quickly because my backpack was so full that I did not want to have to dig in there too often for many things. So this was, you know, things I wanted to have access to. Kleenex, hand wipes, toilet seat covers, antibacterial wipes, that sort of thing was close in here. Then I also carried on the bus with me, so this was able to hang on my suitcase, and this was my lunchbox. I have emptied this since I've been home because it actually still had food in it when I arrived home. So I wanted to get that emptied out and cleaned out as soon as possible. But I did have a lot of snacks with me. I had salt, pepper, hot sauce, condiments in that pocket. And then in here I had a lot of snacks. Unfortunately, as I said, I've cleaned this out, so you won't be able to see what I had in here, but it was a lot. And this expands, actually, and I did have it expanded because it was a 20-hour bus ride, so I was trying to have plenty of snacks with me. And then I did have my thermos in here as well. But I'm sorry, I have cleaned that out since I've been home. And then on the bus as well, I carried my pillows. So this, I would have it attached to my suitcase, but my suitcase was stored underneath the bus. So I would take this off before I stowed away the suitcase and carry this on the bus with me. And this was my pillow that I kept in this bag. And I've shown also in a previous video this pillowcase that I purchased from Aldi. And it also came with an eye mask. And all of this stuff now needs to be washed, including the bag. As you can see, the bag got really dirty. I was able to secure a seat, and I was able to sit by myself the entire time. But anytime we stopped to pick up passengers, I would take things off of the extra seat, the aisle seat, in case someone was assigned that seat. I put my things on the floor in case someone wanted to sit there. And the floors on the bus are just awful, and that is represented by how dirty that is. I also had to put my lunch bag on the floor, as well as my backpack. I've washed this since. I've used a sanitizer and washed this, but this has not been washed yet. This will actually go in the washing machine, as well as my pillowcase. But this went on the bus with me as well. So yes, this will have to be washed, and of course this will be sprayed with some Lysol. And then also in this bag I kept a blanket. So this little case can be a little pillow in itself while the blanket is in there. And then inside is a blanket. Which will be washed now. And then because I have back problems, I have this heating pad that purchased from Amazon. And you can wrap it around your waist, and this part heats up, and it also vibrates if needed. And it's rechargeable. So this is convenient. Oh, it's already heating up. Convenient when you need something that just stays attached to you and doesn't need cords. So that was on the bus with me as well. As far as what I wore, as I said, I had on cargo pants. So they had the pockets on the side of my legs, 2 back pockets, and then 2 front pockets. I also had on a tank top and a t-shirt. I wore just no-show socks and gym shoes. And then for my hair, to protect my hair from touching the seats, because God only knows what's been in the seats before me, I put on a scarf to tie my hair up, and then a hat on top of that. So because I had on so many layers, I mean the scarf and the hat and then the tank top and a t-shirt. I also had a zip hoodie because it did get cold on the bus sometimes. And then the jeans and some socks and gym shoes. I sweat. And there was also one layover that was outside in the middle of nowhere at a gas station that was about an hour and 45 minutes. So it was in the sun in August for an hour and 45 minutes in the middle of nowhere at a gas station outside. So I sweat like crazy. And then the bus that picked us up from that location did not have air. So not only did you sweat the whole hour and 45 minutes, but when you get back on the bus, there's no air, so you could never cool off. So you just sweat another 2.5 hours until the next stop, which was another bus transfer. There was 3 bus transfers in all, and one of the bus stations was a 4-hour layover. So some of the layovers were extremely long, unnecessarily long. The location of the bus stations are in really undesirable areas. So I think this is probably my last bus trip. I think future trips I'll start looking at train possibilities because it was unpleasant. Now I have to say that because of the circumstances, I probably wasn't in the best of moods. Maybe it would have been a little better had it been under different circumstances, but I seriously doubt it. The seats are very narrow, very small. The seats are also unclean. It's almost as if they've never been cleaned. If they feel damp at all, then they really have a smell that seems that it's come from years of butts sitting in them. The floors were quite dirty. I never went into the bathroom, so I couldn't tell you what that was like. But it and 20 hours to go what would have been a 7.5 hour car ride. So I don't think I'll do it again in the future, especially the December trip I have planned, which is more like 36 hours on the bus, or maybe even a little longer than that. There's just no way. I mean, it was affordable, considering I only had a couple days to plan it. It was less than $300 round trip. So that part of it was nice. I appreciate that it is an affordable way to travel, and if that is an issue in the future, of course I would do it again because it is an affordable way to travel. But some of the stations are just highly unpleasant, extremely unpleasant. You couldn't step outside because there were just people out there waiting to ask you for change, and a lot of people in tents and sleeping bags. It's different, and no thank you if I don't have to. Just saying that. Not that I'm above it, because as I said, it is an affordable way to travel, and if that's needed for me in the future, I'd certainly do it again. But seriously, only if I had to. Yeah. So anyway, that's that. I'm sorry I didn't get to film anything, but it was just not the moment to do so. I hope to be able to capture some of my travel in December, but hopefully that will be on Amtrak, on the train, as opposed to the bus. In the next video I'll share with you, because I think this video would get to be a little long if I show you everything that's in my backpack that I took. As I said, I took everything from my purse and dumped it into the backpack, as well as all of my other travel gear that I would normally take on a trip is in there, and it is packed to the brim. I'll also show you a little bit of what's in my suitcase. I'll unzip it for you as I unpack it to get things in the wash, but I'll probably only show you what's in my toiletry bag as far as the suitcase, and a few of the other little random items, like I do take my heating pad with me everywhere I go, and things like that. So I'll show you some of the things in my suitcase, but I'll go into detail about what's in my toiletry case, because I used quite a few things in there. I'll need to restock what's in my toiletry bag, so I'll show you that in a future video. So that's a little bit about my unexpected trip on Greyhound bus. So of course that means I will not be reporting on the upcoming October trip, although my brother is still trying to hold me to October. I may consider that, because I think he'll need some uplifting in October, because this visit was a sad one, and October will be his birthday, so that would be a more pleasant trip for me to visit him. So we'll see. Anyway, I hope you enjoy that. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I hope you'll consider subscribing to see my future videos, to see the video on what was in my backpack for the trip, a little of what's in my suitcase for the trip, definitely what's in my toiletry bag, and me restocking my toiletry bag, and just upcoming videos in general. As always, I'm grateful for your support. I'll never take it for granted. I hope you have a great day, and God bless.